It is a bright and sunny day out. I am here at the Silver Lake area of the Withlacoochee State Park. We are going to go on a nice little hike today, a little over 3.5 miles. It's a new place. I've been to a trail just down the road from here when we did Croom River, but now we're at Silver Lake. So let's see what all there is to see out on this beautiful day. Won't you walk with me for a minute? Let's get going. We start off this loop right on Silver Lake, which is right here. Now I have to say, this is an actual lake. A lot of bodies of water around here are drainage ditches that try to call themselves lakes. This is a lake. It's fully sized. I know it's not one of the Great Lakes, okay? But it's a good lake. It's a good lake. So we're gonna walk around the lake here, head out into the woods and see what we can find. Let's get going. As you can see behind me, we are walking through this beautiful little cypress swamp here. And I love these trees and little cypress knots they have on the ground. We're just surrounding the edge of Silver Lake here. And you might be able to hear behind me lots of interstate noise. That's right, Interstate 75 is just a stone's throw from here. So it's kind of interesting, that dichotomy of, you know, cars on there going 85 miles an hour, and we're out here in the cypress swamp with bugs and lizards, and just kind of the dual reality of Florida life here. But it's beautiful. It is once again time for everyone's favorite game show. Which color trail are we following? So here we go. Go ahead and lock in those answers in the comments below. I'll give you 5 seconds to get in your guesses. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Your answers are locked in. There's no going back. Let me show you. Today we are following the Blorange Trail.
Cut.
We got some blue, we got some orange. Blorange. If you had Blorange, congratulations. Also, you should go play the lottery, because that was quite the guess. You were very lucky today. So let's follow the Blorange. One thing I can tell you that I love about this trail is the amount of shade you have. It is mostly, as I walk into a patch of sun, it is mostly so far just covered by trees. We're walking through the woods, and I love a shady trail. And I have to clarify when I say that, because I'm old. So when I say shady, I mean there's cover from the sun. But then shady could also mean like suspicious or sus. Or it could also mean a white wrapper. So I mean it's covered from the sun. It would be really weird if I was like, boy, this trail has a lot of white wrappers. But I just mean, it's not sunny, it feels nice. We are walking currently under some pretty fantastic canopy. And you may be wondering, does this guy really love canopy this much, or is it just a bit? Yes. Yes, I love canopy. And yes, it's a bit, but I think there's just something about that covering that makes you feel protected and safe. And it's shady, and I don't like to be hot and sweaty. So yes, I'm very much pro canopy. If it were on the ticket in 2024, I'm voting canopy. I'm not sure if I've ever walked through more spider webs than I have so far on this trail. Everywhere I step, I'm walking through another spider web. I feel like Gwen Stefani in her early No Doubt days. I just got through a section of the trail that actually walks through an RV campground. And of course I didn't film during that part. I want to respect everyone's privacy. But I gotta tell you, those people out there were living the life. I mean, they all had their recreational vehicles, they had bicycles, motorcycles, dune buggies, sitting around, laughing, having good conversation in the middle of the day on a Wednesday afternoon. They got it figured out. And I talked to one lady as I was crossing the bridge who told me they booked 11 months in advance to get this campsite. So if you want to camp out here, I suggest you get your plans in soon. Now it is spring break time, so it's probably busier than normal, but goodness gracious. All I'm saying is, those people are living good. As I walk through another section of beautiful canopy, I just want to say something that is going to sound really weird to the younger me. I'm proud of myself for getting out here and doing this, and in the face of feeling unworthy and incompetent, seeing something I wanted to do and trying it anyway. No matter the metrics that mean success, me getting out here and doing this, learning to edit video, learning to edit a little bit on digital is a big success for me. I don't know if you guys remember, if you're about my age, again, I'm 38, which means somebody's going to comment on this telling me I look much older than I am. But I'm 38, and when I was young, there was a lot of talk about how kids our age in elementary school and middle school were dealing with low self-esteem. And I remember hearing adults kind of mocking that. You know, saying, well, it's good, they need to be put in their place. They need to understand they're not all that, as I walk through these trees. And that was sort of what I took from it is, yeah, you're not all that in a bag of chips. You need to know your role. I think what's happened is they were right. Not the people who said we needed to get over it, but the people who said we were dealing with low self-esteem. They were absolutely right. Now we've grown into adults dealing with low self-esteem, lack of confidence, high anxiety, feeling like we are less than, feeling like we're imposters when we try something that other people can do. And I've been there. I'm there every day. Every time I make one of these videos, I feel like the biggest imposter, like I'm not worthy to be doing this. I go have conversations with old friends, and I feel like I don't belong. I feel like they've accomplished more and they're better than me. Sometimes I feel like the people that I surround myself with are just putting up with me. Now listen, I know that's not true, because I know if I were around people who I didn't want to be around, I'd just stop being around them. So if people are choosing to spend time with me, they must enjoy it or find some value in me. And when I tell myself that's not true, that's a lie that I've learned about myself. Maybe that was never the message that was sent, but that's the message that I received. And maybe you received a similar message. So for all of us who grew up saying, oh, we're not all that, having people say, oh, self-esteem, what is self-esteem? They don't need it. You do. You're important. You're great. You have value. You have just as right to exist as everyone else around you. You have just as right to make silly social media videos or go to the gym or trying out a new sport, or whatever you want to do. So if you are like me and you've grown through this, I want to say I'm proud of you too. I am. And you should be proud of yourself. Life is tough, but you're making it, even if it doesn't always feel like it. I'm proud of you. Let's keep going. At the time I'm filming this video, it is spring break season here in Florida. Lots of tourists are coming in, heading to the attractions. And it got me thinking about my favorite seasons of the year. Now, classically, I have been an autumn guy. I love fall. Part of that is always being a bigger guy. The summer months were just sweltering down here, and I would sweat and sweat and sweat. And so the first time cool air came, it was an answer to prayer. So I love the fall, and I love football, and Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. But the more I get older, I understand I really just love the seasons in general. Like, by the time fall is done and we have our Florida winter, which is like 2.5 weeks in January, I'm ready for spring. And then spring is just beautiful. Baseball starts back up. You have these gorgeous days where the sun is shining. There's no more beautiful day than a perfect spring day. And that leads into summer, which lasts about 7.5 months here. And while I rag on summer a lot because it's not been my favorite historically, there are beautiful days in summer, vacation, those lazy days where you're having fun in the pool and just spending time with your family. So I guess what I'm saying now is I'm just kind of basic. I used to think my personality trait, or one of my personality traits, was being an autumn guy. Also choosing to say autumn over fall. But I really just think now I'm just basic. I love them all. About the time they come around, it's perfect timing. If you ever see videos or accounts that tell you how to grow your social media following, one of the things you hear a lot is to jump on these trends, to do videos that are trending on TikTok, Instagram, even Facebook. And one of the new big trends, or maybe it's been around a while, I don't really pay attention, is the get ready with me videos, where you're like, hey, this is how I get ready to go to work. It's really like get dressed, pick out my outfit, what my fit is for the day. Those videos would be very disappointing for me. It'd be grab a pair of basketball shorts, grab a dry fit shirt, choose a hat, choose one of your 50 pairs of black socks, put on your boots, go outside. I mean, that'd really be it. If I was going on a hike, if I was just going out for the rest of the day, or a regular day, it would be put on your tennis shoes. Big change. I've told you all before, I'm no trail expert. I'm not a wilderness expert, a survival expert, anything like that. But when I was younger, about 16, I went to a camp in Colorado called Adventurefuge. It was a leadership camp that I went to with a church, and they taught you some outdoor things, and you do Bible study and things like that. But one of the things they taught us is if you need to go number 2 in the woods, which eventually everyone's going to have to go number 2 in the woods, and you need to clean yourself, and you didn't bring any degradable toilet paper, they suggested getting something from the woods to clean your bottom with. Now, if that sounds extreme to you, hey, if you want to walk around with poopy underpants, that's your deal. But I said, okay, I want to pay attention. If I need to go in the woods, which I never would have to, we were at a camp, but if I need to go in the woods, What should I wipe my bottom with? Well, first of all, they say don't just grab leaves. You don't know if they're poisonous. If anyone has ever had a rash, can you imagine a rash between your cheeks? That does not sound good to me. So one of the suggestions they came up with was pine cones. Now you got to make sure you go the correct way with the pine cone. You want it to absorb, not pull out. Anyway, so if you've been with me for a while, you know I said, hey, pine cones can make an incredible Christmas ornament. They can also make for substitute toilet paper. The more you know. I don't really wear hats that often. I think that's just because I got used to not wearing hats all the time at work, and then kind of got out of the habit. When I was younger, I'd wear hats a lot, but I almost never wore them like this. Now this is a beautiful Montgomery Biscuits baseball hat, the AA affiliate for the Tampa Bay Rays. But I would never wear my hats like this because I grew up as a baseball fan in the 90s, and really as just a boy in the 90s. So my hats were always like this. And thanks, Ken Griffey Jr. This is how you wore your hat. And I now think I look ridiculous wearing a hat like that. I'm nearly 40 years old. Plus, there's the sun, there's my eyes, no protection whatsoever. So I turn my hat around, and now I kind of look like, you know, the middle-aged dad that I am. So what I'm saying is, this is how I feel I should wear a hat. This is how I do wear a hat. But this is how 13-year-old me wants to wear the hat. I'm glad 13-year-old me is 25 years in the past. Holy guacamole. Anywho, hat talk. Let's keep it straightforward. If you can hear that Interstate 75 traffic, you know we are coming to the end of the Silver Lake Trail Loop. My thoughts are that I really enjoyed this trail. It was a very pleasant surprise, not overly long, only about 3.5 miles. Lots of nice views, different views, kind of changing it up there. And overall, I thought it was great. So if you enjoyed this video too, would you please consider subscribing? We'd love to have you a part of what we do every week here on the channel. You'll get those videos every Wednesday. That's the plan going forward. So I would love for you to subscribe. Check out all the socials, the links below. They're all Justin.Aultman. I'd love to have you there as well. And as always, thanks for walking with me. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.